This is how I peel or cut up a bell pepper. It's a little old because it's sat in my fridge. I'm about to dehydrate it just to experiment and see how that's going to go. So your pepper will look much better. I've washed it and I'm going to cut it. I start off by cutting the bottom. Move that to the side. I follow right here with my lines. I know a lot of people leave, these are called ribs, these white sections inside of the pepper. A lot of people just grab them and cut them up and cook with them, but when you cook with them, they don't really have a good taste and the texture is awful. It just throws off the whole dish, in my opinion. If, you know, to each their own. If you want to leave them on, great. If not, whatever. I'm going to cut this off in a way that I will cut off the ribs, but also keep these, you know, this part of the pepper, because this part's good. So I just follow the rib with my knife and slice it down. Then I do it on that same section, but the other side. Follow the rib with the knife, slice it down. So the only thing on the inside of here is this rib, and then what I'm going to do is, this is backwards for me. What I'm going to do is follow this rib, because we don't want that white part, that's gross, down. So I'm going to separate that, slice my knife down, go to the other side, find the rib again, follow down, and when you slice, another section will come off, and you'll see there's a couple seeds. We'll get rid of that. I must have nicked it. And then the only thing left is this rib, which is the inside of the pepper. There's no green that's left from the outside of the pepper because we cut that off. We want to keep it. So I'm going to continue that for one more section and leave 2 more ribs on here. So follow the green, slice through, flip it over to the other side, follow the green, slice through. So all you're left with, you don't have the white, nasty, like it's not good for the palate or like the dish, like cooking. It doesn't look good, doesn't feel good. It gets like a rubbery yuckiness texture and there's no taste. It's like really weird. So this is, you have all pepper left and then there's no seeds to scrape out that made a giant mess. You just have one piece to throw away that has all of the seeds on the inside, 3 ribs. You didn't waste barely anything. On top, I know that looks like a lot, but it's pretty yucky. If you want, you can get maybe 1 dice out of that or feed it to your chickens or put it in stock or whatever. I'm not making stock today, so that's that. I take this that's left. Again, it's washed, so I know that this butt is clean, all these little ridges. I just cut real close to the white because, again, just like the ribs, this has a weird texture. I cut off these pieces that are perfectly good pepper so we don't waste them, and just leave this center piece. The other side, it's barely anything. It's just hard because it's white. It's similar in texture to the ribs on the inside we just cut out, and it's not very pleasant. Again, if you're gonna like cook this in spaghetti or manwich or like chili or whatever for like hours, it's maybe not that big of a deal, but just to like in stir frying different things, the texture and taste, it doesn't add anything. And it's such a small, teeny tiny amount of the pepper that is going to waste. So, or you can throw this in a pot with some water and a bunch of other veggies. Keep this in the freezer until you're ready to make stock. The ends of carrots or onions or whatever. Anyways, yeah, so I throw that away, or you know, you can freeze it for stocks or whatever. So whatever I have left, I just dice this up. I'm not like worrying about my knife cuts. I know people are, you know, like to be very consistent. I'm not worried about it because I'm just gonna dice this up and I'm gonna throw it on my on a dehydrator and see how that goes for me. Yours will probably be much easier to cut because you'll have a fresh pepper. Like I said, I had this in my fridge because I just haven't got around to dehydrating it yet. So I want it to last as soon as possible. Thankfully, it's not molded on the inside or anything. If you let peppers sit too long, they will mold on the inside because of all the pressure. Another thing, however you're cutting, this is for free when you cut. curl in your fingers, kind of use like your fingernails as holders. Curl them in so while you're cutting, especially once you do this more often, you'll go faster, faster. If you ever slip, you'll cut like some skin here or some skin here. But if you're holding like this or like this, whatever, you'll cut, you know, if your knife is sharp, you'll be able to cut off your fingertip, you know, all the things. If you do this, this is the proper way to hold it. Kind of curl your fingers in and move them back as you go, whatever you're chopping, and that way you don't cut your finger off. So this is how I do it. That tip is super important if you ever watch like, I don't know, Food Network or like people who know what they're doing on YouTube. That's how they cut, or how they should be cutting. I know I see people on YouTube videos all the time and they're like, you know, just chopping. It's really dangerous actually to do it. I know it sounds silly, like, oh, I'm not gonna cut my finger, but just you wait. It's happened to many people. So I'm just gonna actually cut these other guys a little tinier. That was from the butt of the pepper. Make sure these are separated. Again, curling my fingers and kind of using my fingernails as a like a holder. And the skin is a little different because it is an old pepper. It's been in my fridge. So when you do this, it'll be much easier to cut through. It'll be crisper. I just have to press so hard because the skin is old. But as you can see, it's still a good pepper. If you ever have some on your counter that need to be used and you just haven't got around to it, to avoid it going bad, you can always break it down like I just did. Cut off the ribs and seeds, get rid of it. You can slice it and freeze it. You can dice it like this and freeze it. Just put it in a Ziploc bag and get all the air out. Add it to any recipes, spaghetti sauce, manwich, anything. You can just throw it in frozen and heat it up, or you can use it. So I hope this helped. I know I get a lot of people asking all the time, what's the best way? Everybody has their own opinion. I absolutely hate cleaning out the seeds that get stuck everywhere. And again, I don't like this nasty, like rubbery, gross texture. And when it cooks, it's like, it's just not pleasant. Just trust me. Don't put this in your food. Like, it's not even a pretty color. There's no appeal here at all. And nobody wants a bunch of pepper seeds. So try cutting it this way. You probably like it. I've never gone back. I've seen a bunch of hacks on how to do peppers. But like I said, they leave the ribs on and they're not good for cooking. So if you have any tips for other things or questions on content for future, maybe you have questions about it, let me know in the comment section below. And I hope this helped. Give it a thumbs up. All right, thanks for watching.